Okay, so in this round, let's see what we got. Start with ESR. Could do some upgrades on the train. We're already there. We only have 3 now, which means 1, 2, 3. We can't quite get there, which is such a bummer. We are in phase E, so it would pay out big. We're not going to be able to do it. So don't cry over spilled milk. We're just going to have to deal with the situation and hit up that port, which means we might as well upgrade our Ipswich N to get as much as we can out of this. All right, so Ipswich N, here we go. So that's upgraded. Now, the only other issue we're going to have, we're going to be really shy on cash, but we're going to have to deal with that, I think. We aren't in F yet, thankfully, so these haven't rusted. So here's my problem. The moment we buy a train to get into F, I lose all my trains, this company crashes in value, it's going to be really difficult. So I do not want that to happen. And what I better do to make it not happen is see if I can generate enough money, paying myself and not a dividend, paying the company, pardon me, and not a dividend, to be able to buy this train. So right now, I have no way that's going to happen. Darn it. The other thing I could potentially do would be to sell shares, but that's not, it's going to happen later. So I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble here. Okay. The other thing I could potentially do is make one giant company. That's going to be rough. So this is 300, 400, close to 5. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to run these one more time, and then I'm going to merge at the end. I'm going to acquire at the end, because that is about the only thing I can think that's going to save my bacon. And I'm not even sure it's a good idea, but that's what's going to happen. So we're going to go for it. Okay, so let's first run this guy 3. So it's going to be from this town 1. So 1, 2, nope, it's got to be from here. No choice about it. So 80 plus the 130 is 210, plus the 30 in between here will be 240. So 24, all right, 24 with the freight line, and then I've got a local 3. So I think the best thing to do, I won't be able to score this again, no choice, but if I go 1, 2, and 3, that'll be the best I can do. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80. All right, so that'll put me at 320. That's 32, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 50 more in the ESR pocket here, which is good. Okay, so like I said, 32, pardon me. 32 is a single jump. We're still doing well with that company, but there's nothing I can do about it. If I don't make the right choice now, the value is going to be cut in half when I have to merge it because of my train, and that's because of no trains, and that's going to be a real bad news situation. Okay, so we paid that. Cannot afford to buy a train. Oh, need to pay myself here. So I said 32, so that's 3 times 5 is 150, plus 10 more is 160. So we went back a little bit on that. Not much I can do about it at this point. Now, NGC, we still have the freight going the 4 run. It can be over here. We are going to upgrade that first into a bigger, better Y. And we'll put out this one here. Okay. So we've done set upgrade. Now, 60 plus the 200 is 260, and then 20, 40 in between. So that will be 260 and 40 is 300. Not too shabby for that run. 30 is, yes, a triple jump. Awesome. 1, 2, 3. That's fantastic. And we get 90 out of this. So let's go ahead and put in 100. Toss in 10 from 90. Okay, we've operated those companies. Can I buy a train? No, I cannot. But I am going to acquire. So I cannot buy a train, but I'm going to acquire before this guy does and ruins me, because that will destroy all of this. Okay. Because once it rusts on F, we're in trouble. So let's go ahead and do the acquisition now the way it is. So just like before, the surviving company, this is going to be interesting. So the surviving company I was to put in, the reason I'm hemming and hawing here, folks, is I see NGC has an available stock there, and my ESR is buried over here. When I combine these two, I'm going to have stocks that are going to fall away because you have to cut them in half and then redeem accordingly. So let me think about this for a second here. Okay, I've decided to this is such a tough situation, to be honest, because of where everybody is, but I've decided to let, I'm going to still do it. ESR is still going to be the survivor. I have more of their shares. So what happens is this NGC joins everything in the bank pool for shares that are kind of up for grabs. And so what I have to do, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got to return half of these to the bank, okay? That means all of these plus this one right here. So now I have 4 left. When I do that, I have to take half of this value, half of the 245 and add it to the 134. So let's take a look at that. So if I cut that in half, it's going to be 122 plus 234 is going to be 256, which is a great merger, to be honest. Which, that's interesting. I've never had it happen that way. So we merge, we stay at the same price because I can't get the 260, so 256 is as close as we can get. Okay, so NGC then transfers all its assets over here, trains included, and the permit. So we're going to put this with the NGC company. I'll lock that out over here at the Express. We are going to then convert the NGC station into another ESR station. All right. And we're going to take these NGCs off the board. The par price goes to 100. These go away. And then I have to swap. So this comes out because it isn't needed. And then this becomes this. Now, to be honest, this is so interesting. I've played this game several times, and I really haven't had such a dominant company. So I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing. We're going to find out at the end when we count up all the money. But this has just really been interesting that ESR keeps acquiring and grabbing and acquiring and grabbing. Okay, so we've merged him up. We've got some trains, which is the most important reason for doing that. I've adjusted the value. I've adjusted the par. We've got everything we need. And now we're done with that operating round. So we're going to discard trains. We did not buy a train, so we lose 2 in the process here. So it's going to go into F now, and both Fs. Oh gosh. Whew. So I lose those C trains. It is what it is. I'm not going to be able to do much about it. All right, well, we'll see. So we're out of that round. Now we're going to have a stock round. Then we are going to have, oh, you know what? No, I can't do that yet. So we have a stock round, and then we have basically 3 more operating rounds, and then the final end game 3 rounds where you don't expand. So let's take a look at this stock situation right here, see what we got. Okay, so one thing I'm going to have to try here, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can deal out another stack of stocks here to try to see what I can get, because I'm a little bit of a stalemate in my opinion. I could get the WNRs, all right, and the WNRs would put me on the board where? They'd be way up at the top, and that is just not attractive to me right now, to be honest. So the random company that's coming out is L&E. Oh, that is so unfortunate. All right, well, I was really hoping to somehow get an L&E on that, because then I would be able to make a nice freight run down there, and that is not going to happen. So L&E is toast, and that's one of the things that can happen in the solo game, but that's also why it makes it exciting, because you never know. You never know what's going to happen there. Now, let's deal out 6 fresh ones here. NGC. So NGC is still part of the game. It's just defunct right now. And an E, oh, and an E. Okay, so that might help. ECR, LNH, and an E. So N and E is where? So that guy Oh, N and E's right here. So that's actually potentially interesting. So if I wanted to, I could start that company. The only problem I've got is this station right here, but I can upgrade this, and that will help him build in. So N and E would be a freight. Let's just go for it. All right, so let's put N and E together right here, make it a freight. So that's going to be, and then L and D hits the road, right? So N and E, we're going to jack this up. We're going to do as much as we can out of it because we're nearing the end here. So let's do the 300s. Pay 300 because we're going to put those at 100s. N and E. Where's my N and E? Here we go. All right, 1, 2 stations. Our main token marker and the stock markers there. Here, the par price is 100. We have our counter and our 3 stations. Now we'll find N and E. That's N and B. N and E. Okay, charter company N and E, freight trains, permits. There we go. Starts with 1,000. All right, and then, so we're square there. Now, I've still got more money, so we need to do some buying here. What else do we have that will help us? So it would be awesome if I could get to this one, but I'd have to start WVR, or I could put it out of the game, just put it out of the game. And actually, I think, the problem is, so if I put out of the game, so WVR is right here. That basically means this tile cannot be developed anymore. But that's okay. I can actually deal with that. I can deal with that. So I am going to put it out of the game. So I'm going to take the WVR token and I'm going to put it like this just to remind myself that this tile cannot be further developed or changed whatsoever. Let's put WVR out of the game. Take it out of here. Okay, so that place is locked. Now, that allows me to be able to buy this ESR for, actually, I can't buy it for 100, I have to buy it for 245. I do have 245. So it'll be worth it. Don't you worry. 250. And now I've got, let's see, 150 and change left. So still some money to be able to buy some stuff if I can get my hands on it. The N and E is deep and buried. We're not going to see that. We have the FDR. I'm not going to start another company at this point. I guess I could. So where is FDR? FDR is right there. Okay, right there. That actually isn't a bad scenario. You'll get a couple of bumps, and operating a couple of companies at the end is actually not bad because these trains aren't going to rust. They're all permanent. So what the heck? Why not? Let's go for it. So I'm going to take these two. We're going to do FDR here. Now this is the thing. FDR, I'm going to need to make sure I can afford the train. So if I start it cheap and poor, I'm not even going to be able to buy a train, I bet. So that's the problem. That's the big problem. I can't start it that cheap. So back up. That's not happening. In fact, I'm not going to be able to start another company because I wouldn't be able to really fund it. And I don't need something to go right into receivership or have any problems there. That's not going to go well. Or refinance, to get a train. I haven't gone through the refinancing, but the refinancing basically is like this. If I was to say refinance ESR, I would have to dump half the stock. I'd get $1,000 more in that, and that would be it. It's actually a pretty simple step to do. You don't affect the stock price. You just have to cut your assets in half. The problem is, of course, you lose half the value of the company, and it sometimes is necessary in order to buy the train you need. And you can never do it voluntarily. You have to be forced. But it's actually pretty simple. You just take a look at the par price, get that much money in the company, dump half your stock, and then you don't have to fuss with this, and it goes pretty well. So I hate to have that much cash on hand like that. So is there any other way? The N and E is over here. The L and H. I think what I do is take L and H out of the game. So let's take L and H out of the game right now. We're not going there anyway. So that'll bust him out. Okay. We block LNH right there. All right. Now I have these two ECRs. I can unbox them, put them over here. Now I can buy this N and E for $100, which I can afford. So this little mini game is pretty clever. I like it. I know it's not the same as, you know, running the price up and down and crashing stocks and the other things that you would do in a normal ATNX game. But it is fun enough in the solo to be able to still crack this little puzzle and see how you can squeeze as much value as possible out of this with some risk, like you saw over there, where one of them literally fell over and right where I wanted it to, the the L&E. I was really hoping for that. So this is out of the game. Gives me an opportunity to do another stack here. This is just really important. I hate going into this with extra money if I have a way to buy stock. However, at the stock prices right now, I'm not going to be able to buy anything else. There's no point in continuing on. That stock round is over. That's it. So we're not going to be able to buy any more shares from any other companies. Not going to be able to start any more companies at this point. This is what we're going to finish with these two guys. So it is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at my operating rounds. So with those down, I'm going to have 3 operating rounds now. I am squarely into F. We'll be getting into G. And at this point, the challenge is that once these rusted on F, yes, right. So when I went to F, these trains are gone. They're history. So we are going to be in trouble. Yikes. Okay, so these have rusted. Let's put in my C stack here. So we've got this Express holding on for dear life. That's okay. The question is that what's going to happen is this is going to rust, and then I'm going to need to have enough money to buy, or I'm going to cut and I'm going to lose a ton of cash. And I do not want to do that. I do not want to refinance this company because I'll lose a lot of my money, a lot of share value there if I do that. So the thing I'm toying with right now is just running this to put money in here so I can buy the other train, which I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do that because I've got 300, 400, and I'm going to need, what's this next one? 7. So I'm going to need 700. This is going to work. It's just going to be painful. We're just going to do it. Okay. So let's do just that. So we've got to run ESR. I have the 4 express train, which would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I did it that way, which is still not, that's not going to work. I have to pass through my home station. So it would be something like 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'll do is I will upgrade this random one here just to get a couple extra bucks. Won't be many bucks. Let's do it with this. There we go. Okay. So we did that. Yeah. All right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 200, 280, 300, 330. So 330 right there. Now, it is a 33. So let me think about exactly. Let me make sure I want to do this. So as painful as this is, I am not going to pay a dividend this time. I'm going to pay the 330 into the bank here so that I can keep this company, which is probably ruining me, not winning me the game, in float here. So I did not pay a dividend, so that means we fall back. We lose $25 per share. So there's $100 goodbye out of my pocket, plus the 300 I didn't just get. All right, anyway, so I have the money, though, to buy the G train, which I definitely need. So now the D rusts. Goodbye. Obnoxiously gone. All right, and now we are into G, 700. Just them's the breaks. It's an express, a local, or a freight, so I can go either way. In the fact of what I'm doing here, if I was to do an express, that'd be 5 of 6. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I'm going to do an express because I can still hit the bonus, and I have to go through there. So that's going to be much more lucrative. I'm going to buy it as an express. So here's $700. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's $700. And I keep on rolling. All right, and then he is going to recoup one of his shares. I can't because he doesn't have the money to purchase one of his shares. So they're going to stay in the bank. That's just the way it's going to be, folks. Okay. N and E. N and E cannot operate, of course, with no train, but they do spend their $180 on the 3 stations. Plus, they have to spend $700. They have to buy the H train. $800. So that's why this was, wow. See, you never can tell. I did not expect to blow $1,000 and have $20 left. It's going to be a freight. It's a big freight, but man, oh man, that was not expected. So there it is. A 9 freight. We're in phase H. So this guy doesn't discard anything else. We're done. We could buy those trains if we want, but he doesn't discard, and I'm not going to buy them anyway. There's no way to get the money. I do, but it's not going to happen. Okay, so we did that. Let's put out N and E. So N and E himself is where? Where's N and E? Oh yeah, he's down here. Goofy little guy. So we're definitely going with this. Oh, this is going to be so maddening. Well, actually, it's okay because he can't operate it this round. So I should have done that before I did all that, but we're going to do it in reverse order anyway. So that is such a bummer. That freight run is going to be nowhere until I can somehow connect it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe we'll get a decent run out of this thing. Who knows? It is what it is. That's the thing that's so great about this game, solo or anyway. You just don't know how it's going to play out, you know, and it's so fun to crack this puzzle every time, I believe. Okay, so we have gone through that. We've done these things. Like I said, he does not discard any trains in H. We're done with all that. Now we move on to the next operating round. Flip these over. Okay, going back to ESR. ESR can help us out here immensely, actually, which is awesome. So ESR is going to build this, and it's going to build this. So you scratch my back, I scratch your action. So now we are plugged in, which means I can zoom from a long way away down there, which will be good or something like that. We'll figure it out. But we've done that. Now we'll see what we can operate. We have that express, like I said, and we can try to get in. So that'd be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we just skip this one from counting because it's cheap. So that's 200, 260, 280, 300, 380. So not too shabby, 380. Kind of come back from the dead there. It's not, amazing, but it is what it is. And so that's 380. So it's a 38. So a 38 is a single. So we're back to where we were before. And I've got 38 times 5. So that's 150 plus 8 times 5 is another 40. So 190. All right. There we go. Now, that takes care of our buddies in ESR. Let's take a look at what N and E can do now. So we're freighting this up. Where are we going from? It's a 9. We have to pass through this station. We want to make it as far as we can. It's as the crow flies, but it's still tiles. So let's see. We can't get there, right? Let me just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, so close. We can't get there. There's no other good way. So I guess what I will do as an N and E situation is I will upgrade this. I can't upgrade that. That would be nice, but I cannot, unfortunately, because I kicked him out of the game. So I will upgrade this and make him a whatever. Doesn't really matter. Here we go. And for good measure, since I have so many stations, I'll just put one on there anyway. It doesn't really matter. I'm just doing it for fun. So I'm going to go from here to here. That's 230. And then it's the distance the crow flies between them between these two. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be 230 plus 4 times 2, so plus 8. So it's 310. So 310 here with him. So 31 is a triple, which is awesome because we need that work. 1, 2, 3. So bump up the jams there. And 31 times 3 is going to be 124 for me. So let's get 125, put back $1. Operating complete. Flip these over. All right, down here, take my money. One more operating round here. And then we do the final 3, where we just have the companies operate, but we can't do any more upgrading and such. We do have one more stock round before that happens. So you can't start new companies, but maybe I can finagle a stock or two depending on what I've got. Okay. Oh, and we've already done that. We can't buy a stock, so it doesn't matter. All right, so the final one, we're still doing ESR. ESR has upgraded this one. We know it can make that run, so we might as well upgrade the same one that we just did before, which is here, just for the measure of this guy. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. We're not going to do that. We are going to upgrade. So like I said, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're skipping this. So upgrade there, no. There, no. I guess it does. Yeah, well, it really doesn't matter. We're going to end up doing this one. Oh, I realized I made a mistake, guys. So I had to put a token in here instead of upgrading that. Okay? So what I will now upgrade this one from here, but in order to get to this city, I had to spend my turn doing this. That's why this was so essential. So I did not get the 310. I got the 300, so I got to put back the $4. The 30 is still enough for that triple jump. Where was I? Right here. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3. Still enough for the triple, which is good. So I just have to put back the $4. Okay. All right, so fix the mistake. We're all good. That's the upgrade now. And now we have to just make the run. So we're making the run. I haven't done anything to change the route except add 10 to this. So that means that my whole price, because I'm going from here around and out, should be the exact same plus 10. So we'll add 10, and now we have 390. Okay, so 39. 39 happens to be a single jump right there. And 39 times 5, so 150 plus 145 is 195. So we'll give myself 200, return of 5. Okay, and then he now can upgrade this to finish the upgrading fun from a 30 to a 40. There we go. And now we are going to freight out. So that was 20 more. So now he's at 320 because I did the 30 and the 40 there. Everything else being the same. So that is, like I said, a 32. So 32 then is a double, 1, 2. He's gaining value nicely. 32 times 4 ends up being 128. So 125, 28. Again, if I'm making math errors, you get the spirit of what I'm doing here. I'm not trying to, but. Okay, so that's all the operating we're going to do. That means we are done on the main operating rounds. We have one final stock round, and then we are going to do the last 3 rounds of the game, which are quick and calculatable, and then we'll be done. So let's take a look at what the stock round is going to give us. So I have 700 and change-ish in money. I cannot start a new company, so that's not going to help me. And I don't see any of the stocks out here that would be an N&E or an ESR. And the problem is the ESR, the last one, well, I guess there's one more, but it's over there and I can't get at it. Actually, that's not true. That's not true at all. I can get at it if I buy it from the bank pool, which I can. And let me just think about that and make sure I want to do that. Okay, I lied. I can't buy it from the bank pool. That's right. Only the company itself can buy it from the bank pool. So that one's out. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which means I basically have the choice of kicking a random company out, hoping for some best here stuff. So let's go ahead and shuffle these and kick a random company out, hoping for some better. SVR. SVR is right in the middle there, right below IBN. So it's right there. Well, that's unfortunate, but it doesn't matter. I'm not even going to mark it because you're no longer allowed to upgrade any stations, so it just doesn't matter. So let's see what we got here. Okay, WNR, LNH. LNH is out. EUR is out. LNE is out. W and F is in. NNS is still with us. WVR is out. Whistler is out. LNH is out. SVR, just put them out. ECR is here. Now, come on. Good luck. N and B. N and E, come on. I and B. Crap. Okay, well, I and B is out. Oops. So, come on. Better. LNH. Still living here. No. So, that really did not help me one bit. And the way I play, the rules aren't necessarily clear, but I play you can have a maximum of 9 columns, and that's it. So that's really unfortunate. Unless I can figure out how to finagle some of this stuff, I've really locked myself down. And I think I've locked myself down. Unless I put E and R out of the game, and then that would let me move N and B. But still, I don't have any use for any of these. I can't start a company. It didn't help. That's a bummer. So what I was hoping to do is pick up another ESR and N&E stock just so I could get some more stock value and grow it a little bit more. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to do that. So the stock round is closed. Unlucky there. I'm not allowed at the end to do anything on the board. Basically, all you can do is operate your companies 3 times in a row with the trains they have. You could decide if you wanted to buy more trains. However, I'm not going to do that. I could like buy another train here and maybe, yeah, you know, I don't know. In a better sense of things, perhaps it would have been better for me to buy another train here, and in doing that, then maybe I could have generated more income. Basically, not paid myself once, dropped down, bought a train, generated more. Maybe that's the best thing I should have done. Probably should have done that. Now I realize it doesn't matter. You still got the feel for what's going on, which is the most important of this playthrough anyway, not to watch me get a high score. Okay, so let's do the final part of this game, okay? So we have to do these 3 operating rounds, and basically the way it's going to happen is nothing changes on the board. So you basically operate them theoretically 3 times, bumping up the values 3 times, and then being finished. So since nothing changes, since I didn't lose any trains, these 2 are still legit. So basically, the ESR is going to operate 3 times at 39, okay? So they're going to go 39, which is a single, 39, which is a single, 39, which is a single, okay? And that is as far as they're going to get. So they've operated 3 times. So now let's get a little calculator action here, because I'm going to lose my mind if I try to do this in my head. Well, at least I'll make mistakes. So we said we have 39 times 5 shares times 3 operating rounds is 585. So that's going to be 5. We'll go with 6. We'll put the 5, 75, 85. Okay? So that's done. We've moved up. Now, N and E is going to operate 3 times at 32. Okay? So 32 the first time is a double. Then it is a single and a single. And they are done. So now I do 32 times 4 shares times 3 times is 384. So that's 3, 75, 85. Put 1 back is 84. All right, so now I have finished the game. Let's calculate my money, my net worth here. So we're going to have the sum of the cash. So 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1,673. So 1,673 plus the value of my shares. So I have, let's see, the ESR shares are 400 apiece, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, so that's $2,000. Okay, plus the N&E shares, which are 220. I have 4 of them, so that's 880. 880. All right. Total score 4,553. So $4,553 is my total score. The winning score for a solo game, if you can believe it, is $9,000. I'm clearly not there. I seem to be finishing between $4,000 and $5,000 most games. But there you have it. That's a playthrough. This is a very approachable solo game once you deal with learning the rules for the first time and the exceptions. And you didn't see a lot of exceptions here when I played it. You saw mergers. You saw me buy trains. You saw me not take dividends and do that. But there's still, and I explained how to refinance. But the running of the rails is probably the toughest to really figure out. So study that. But this is a great game, I think, from a solo standpoint. Really fun to play. I love it. And this is my first and only 18xx game. I have played it multiplayer once, which helped me learn the rules and get a firm grasp of what I was really doing, especially for the nuances of how the trains run, which is probably the most complicated of things, even though the rules make mergers and acquisitions seem very complicated. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative for you. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And thank you so much for your attention and your time. Have a good one, everybody.